Hello.
Hello.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to A Couple of Sassholes podcast. I'm Brooklyn Johnson.
And I'm Heather Terry.
And this is our power hour of true crime where we talk about fucked up people doing fucked up shit, usually for fucked up reasons or sometimes for no reasons at all.
For those of you who aren't watching, we have a special honorary sasshole. Producer Jess got a Christmas present for her daughter.
Please show this sweet baby.
Here you go. Look right here. It's a little weenie named Arlo.
We love you.
Say hello.
We love you.
He doesn't cuss yet, but we'll teach him.
Right?
Yes.
So I feel like this might be the moment that Arlo leaves us, but we were like, let's hurry up and start the podcast so we can be safe.
Almost canceled the episode just so we could steal the dog. We said, okay, bye. And we started.
I literally looked at her and I said, do you really like doing this podcast? Because we'd obviously be ruining a relationship here. We wouldn't be welcomed back.
Look how cute. He's worth it.
No, he's so worth it.
So this is our last episode. Now we both have a dog. Okay. Do you guys have to come get him?
All right.
But he's so happy.
And I love him.
And we took a picture with him in between our boobs, and it was very funny.
I love you.
I'm not getting up. You have to work for this, Jess.
She's like,
you got to work
into camera.
See, look, no. Are you Gam? Is that your name, Jess? Yeah. Producer Gammy. Bye.
Bye. We love you.
Oh, I shouldn't have yelled at the mic, but anyway.
Yeah, you did really loud.
I did.
All right.
Dog hair. I mean, I didn't care. It's worth it.
Oh, I'm sure. I decided we're all black and didn't know. If I would have known that Arlo was going to be here today, I would have foregone my lunch that I left on my counter for 5 hours and then ate. So if I end up getting up, it's probably because I have a stomach bug now that I gave myself. And I wouldn't have eaten. And I would have ran home or I would have ran here to play with that doggie.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
That just made my day.
Me too. And we have no banter today because
You got a lot of papers in your hand, Britt.
Yeah. Because I have the infamous serial killer. We have a serial killer episode.
Who?
Those always end up being long as fuck.
Uh-huh.
And so this one's really not. It's 15 pages on average, or about a 9 to 11 pager for anyone who actually gives a fuck about how long this episode might be. As long as Heather shuts the... No, I'm kidding. No,
I'm kidding.
I will say on this one,
not talk, so.
As I do it, like, I am pretty much just like going balls deep the second I walk into the room on this one, okay?
The balls
like,
deep?
I'm telling you the killer. We're starting with them and we're going through the journey.
We're going in.
We are. And so my works cited pages, and I even wrote this on my paper. I was like, look, this one was covered so fucking hard. I really only have like 3 or 4 works cited because the information is just fucking all over the place.
Endless.
Yeah. So we have Wikipedia, People Magazine, all that's interesting. And then the movie, The Frozen Ground, it's from 2013. It was based off of this fucking cuntwad. It has, what is it? John Cusack? I always say his name wrong.
John Cusack.
Is that who it is? And then also, who fucking cares who's in it? Vanessa Hudgens is in it. And then that one dude who looks kind of weird with the big lips and the big head.
Oh, I thought
he did Face Off. Not John Travolta, but the other guy.
Nicolas Cage.
There we go.
Thickless Cage.
Why?
Why not? No,
because he's not thick.
No, there's a shirt I want, and they photoshopped his head on a thick stripper's body, and he's squatting, turning around, and it says Thickless Cage, and I am excited about it. So this is a very visual episode thus far because I definitely got the "you're a fucking weirdo, sis" look.
And I meant it.
You did.
With every fucking ounce of my being. Okay. I am going to jump into it. As I said, this is a pool on a hot July day. Okay. Let's go for it. We are talking about Robert Hansen, the butcher baker of Anchorage. Do you remember him at all? I asked you to watch the movie. You obviously didn't do it because you don't give a fuck about me or this podcast.
You told me yesterday at like 5:00.
No, it was way earlier. No, I know I did it. I gave you a 48-hour notice. Anyway. No, she didn't. I hate you. Do you remember him though? Do you remember this murder?
I've heard the name and I know he's a serial killer, but details I do not have. So I'm looking forward to you
telling you them.
Yes.
Okay. So before he was the butcher baker, a monster haunting the Alaska wilderness, Robert Hansen was just a boy from Estherville, Iowa. And like so many of these stories, it starts with a childhood that was fucking full of misery, sadly. He was born in 1939, the day after Valentine's Day. He was a textbook target for bullies. He was small. He had severe acne that ended up like the horrific scarring of your face. He had buck teeth and glasses. I guess it doesn't take much. But on top of that, he had a stutter that became really debilitating under stress. In an interview later, he ends up saying, quote, "Going back in my life, I was, I guess what you might call very frustrated." He told the police, according to New York Daily News. "I would see my friends and so forth going out on dates and so forth and had a tremendous desire to do the same thing. From the scars and so forth on my face, you can probably see, I could see why girls wouldn't want to get close to me. During my junior high or high school days, I could not control my speech at all," he added. Quote, "I was always so embarrassed and upset with it from people making fun of me that I hated the word school." Cry me a fucking river. School sucked for everyone except for like 3 fucking people. And those 3 fucking people are probably trash right now. So School just sucked.
Yeah, but you knew, I mean, like any other scenario, we'd be like, well, that sucks. He got bullied, blah, blah. But we already know he sucks. So
I have to say this too. Being bullied in the 70s and being bullied in 2025 is completely fucking different. Bullying sucked before. And then when the internet happened, and you got bullied online, bullied on your phone, bullied in all the ways, like you can't escape bullying now. So I'm going to say it's way fucking worse, and I'm not downplaying the bullying experience. Now, his home didn't have any refuge either. His father, he was stern, demanding. Okay.
he was a dad.
Get the fuck over that too. He owned a local bakery. When Hansen wasn't enduring his father's harsh treatment during long hours at the bakery, he was finding solace alone in the woods. And it was out there by himself that he first learned to hunt, and a skill that would define essentially his life and the deaths of so many people we're going to talk about. In 1957, he had enlisted in the U.S. Army Reserve and served a year before being discharged. He was at one point an assistant drill instructor at a police academy in Pocahontas as well, which was in Iowa. Now, that simmering rage that I guess he fucking had from being bullied eventually started to boil over a bit. After years of petty theft, he kind of escalated. And on December 7th of 1960, when he's roughly 21, he convinced a teenage coworker to help him burn down a local school bus garage. What? His motive was simple and chillingly familiar: revenge against the community he had felt wronged him.
He hates that S word.
He's so stupid.
But how do you think that conversation went? Like, I'm pissed off because they made fun of me, so let's burn down the...
It's 1960. There's not much to do.
Yeah.
Like, to me, I'm like...
Let's smoke weed and go do this? I don't know.
Yeah, if weed was even, like, boot scooting around back then. Like, to me, weed didn't become, like, a real good time until the 70s. But I have no recollection because I was born in 87. So I don't really fucking know.
Yeah, it's like...
But I'm just like, nothing to do.
Yeah.
Arson was, like...
Yeah.
Just, we kind of talk about arson. I feel like it pops up back then. I don't know.
It's just fun. I just picture that, like a coworker coming up to you being like, "You want to go torch this?" And you're like, "Sure."
Right.
I'm bored.
There's nothing going on. It's a Thursday. Thirsty Thursday for them fires. Anyway, he was caught. He was sentenced to 3 years, but he served less than 2. I just want to say he burned his, because you're going to be like, what the fuck when I tell you something else? So 3 years for burning down something. I just want to say that. But he was starting off strong. Now, I read that while he was in prison during this time, he was diagnosed with manic depression and periodic schizophrenic episodes. I'm going to let that sit there. I read it in one thing. It didn't necessarily become a reoccurring thing in the other things that I read. So it'll just sit there. Like me. Those clothes you're supposed to go donate that you forgot to do.
Oh my God. I literally thought about that when I got here.
He also seems to be this like semi-good guy, and yet he continues to get in trouble, but somehow it just doesn't stick in people's minds or something. Like, you will consistently hear how this dude's a good guy, and yet he did that.
Yeah.
Whatever. So when he got out, though, he actually tried to build a normal life. He got married, he had children, and in 1967, he's roughly like 28 now, he moved his family all the way to Anchorage, Alaska for a fresh start. And for a while, it seemed to work. He opened his own bakery, becoming a respected local business owner, a fucking family man. And he also became an accomplished game hunter, a man whose kills were impressive enough to be recorded in the Pope and Young Club's record books. All right, so they're like the standard for measuring and scoring North American big game. Like, This is big time. I went to look this up. They have been like the record keeper of big game for over 60 years now.
What's an example for those who might not know of what big game?
Fucking any animal that you kill is game. So the biggest deer with the biggest a biggest buck. Motherfuck. Everything's gonna blow onto the ground today.
Like a moose. Is that big game?
I don't think it's legal to kill moose.
Oh.
She's like elephants? I'm like, well, that's not really legal.
I didn't say I got my hunting license.
But like elk,
Okay,
stuff like that. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
So anyway, for him to have gotten in that record book, like he's a fucking legit ass hunter.
It's a big to do.
He had successfully built a new identity, but the hunting skill he was honing in the vast Alaskan wilderness was about to turn toward a whole nother kind of prey.
No.
The facade that he constructed in Anchorage was, you have to admit, pretty fucking perfect. All right. He was just the local baker. He was described as mild-mannered, which should be listed as a damn fucking profile line item for the profilers of serial killers. He was a meticulous predator at work. Starting around 1971, he developed what can only be described as a terrifying routine. He would wait for his wife and children to be out of town, and then he'd get in his truck and cruise the seediest parts of Anchorage. He targeted women on the margins, so sex workers, exotic dancers, topless bartenders, women he knew wouldn't be easily missed or believed, even if they like got away. His method was chillingly methodical. He offered them money to lure them into his truck, as you would guess. Once they were inside, he'd brandish a gun, tie them up, and drive them away. Some women were taken to a remote cabin, raped, and then released with a threat to keep quiet. But for others, the nightmare was just kind of starting. They were taken to a place far more remote where no one could find them. No one would hear their screams. And he could essentially just do whatever the fuck he wanted.
Oh, no.
You have to understand the scale of Alaska, though, right? Like, let's remember we're in Alaska. It's vast. It's empty. It's unforgiving wilderness in every capacity. So if you were in a bayou and you threw a body in a swamp, it's going to be eaten up by the alligators or crocodiles, because I still don't know the difference between the two. And you almost don't even have to worry about hiding, like disposing of a body is throwing them in a swamp. Damn near that's what Alaskan wilderness is, right? You can leave a body there and it's going to be eaten up by any of the thousands of predators that are in the Alaska wilderness. Where was I on my piece of paper here?
Probably like 2/3 of the way down.
Yeah. For most people, it's a source of awe. It's fucking gorgeous. But for him, it was essentially a tool. And the landscape wasn't just a backdrop for where he was committing his crimes. It was essentially a part of the ritual, the place where he could transform his hunting hobby into a monstrous sport.
No.
His signature crime is unlike almost any other serial killer we've ever fucking heard of.
Oh, no. I got to get more comfortable.
I know. I literally wrote, buckle in.
Well,
I miss the dog. So he would take his victims to Merrill Field, which is a small public use airport near Anchorage, and force them onto his private plane. He'd fly them deep into the wilderness, often to a remote area near the Nick River. And then he would begin to hunt. He would release the women.
No.
Sometimes giving them a head start to run for their lives in the freezing, disorienting terrain. Most of the time they were naked.
Oh, my.
Then, like the game animals he was so proud of killing, he would pursue them, and he would hunt them down with a rifle and sometimes a knife, and he would shoot them like deer.
I hate this. I hate everything about this. I hate this.
Isn't this fucking insane?
Yes. And it's so fucking sad.
And then afterwards, he would bury their bodies in shallow graves, leaving them to be reclaimed by the wilderness, which is pretty much what happened every single time. It was terrifying, systematic, and he was able to continue for a decade.
Shut up.
Thanks in large part to a system that simply wasn't equipped or willing to see the pattern at all.
Oh, no. Is it the marginalized people?
Yes, 100%. Oh, my gosh. Well, and here, so the story becomes almost like unbearable. It already fucking is, right?
Right.
It already fucking is. But we have to stop and remember that the women he killed weren't just names on a file. They were people. They had stories, families, lives.
Right.
The true horror of this case lies not just in his cruelty, but the fact that these women were so vulnerable that a predator could pluck them from society and almost no one ever even noticed.
That's so sad.
They were victims twice over.
Mm-hmm.
First of a killer and then of a system that decided that they were disposable.
Right.
So I wanted to just say to take 2 seconds and think about how long it would take you how long you could shut off your phone and not answer any calls before a friend or a family member or a neighbor would show up at your house, likely directly knocking on your door.
If it was just went straight to voicemail, probably 3 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm guessing. Like, I have to tell people, like, I tell my husband when I'm coming in here for an hour. So, like, and then you and I talk all the time. So you would be like, excuse me, ma'am, this is weird. Your phone's
That would
never
take
off.
me a while to, I don't know. I don't know on that one. But because I don't call.
True.
Always. I text. So.
But you also say, what the fuck, I'm about to come over there. And then I finally look at my phone. I'm like, shit, sorry.
But the other thing I want to say too was to take a moment and be grateful that if it was a day at most, because some people, like if you work from home or not work from home, sorry. If you're single and you live alone, it would still be at max, depending on the day of the week, probably a day or two before a coworker is at least going to do a wellness check.
Right.
So I just want to highlight, imagine no one ever calling
sad.
to report you missing or waiting years.
It's so sad.
And no one figuring out who you are. None of that. Mm-hmm. My heart breaks for all of them.
Right.
By December of 1971, Hansen had already been, this part blows me the fuck away. He had already been arrested twice. First for abducting and attempting to rape a woman who was never publicly identified, and then again for raping a sex worker. He ended up pleading no contest to assault with a deadly weapon in the first case, and shockingly, the rape charge was dropped as part of the plea deal.
Why?
He was sentenced to 5 years in prison, but that didn't mean much. After serving 6 months, he was put on a work release program and moved into a halfway house. This is the part that, like, okay, so at first I thought it was an error when I was like pulling my information together, and I was like, this must be wrong.
Right.
And it's even in the movie.
So they
through all of this, when he raped 31 women, 31 plus women. I don't know if they're including the people he killed or not in that number.
Oh my God.
But so you're fucking telling me that women did go to the police and say, a dude that looks just like this guy raped me. And they're like, no. No, he didn't. He's a family man. He has a wife and kids.
Oh my God.
He did not.
Well,
and so
BTK was a deacon at a church.
That's what I'm saying.
Who
one
gives
of
a
the,
rip?
I read this quote somewhere and I can't tell you where or the who, but they were like, there was absolutely no give a fuck. They didn't say it like that, but they were like, no one at the time, no one cared if you were raped. We didn't I'm not going to say we, but because once more, I don't know who said it, if it was a cop or a fucking Joe Schmo on the street that got interviewed that day in 73. But they were like, just rape victims weren't listened to. They weren't like back then. We have to imagine how long it took before rape was a thing, because they used to pillage towns and communities and like we weren't allowed to say that you're not allowed to touch this. It was like, I'm a female, so I'm only put on this world to be fucked by you, pretty much.
Yeah, like we've seen cases where it's like, well, she was in a bar and she asked for it. He bought her drinks and she kissed him. Well, that doesn't matter.
Right.
Like, so like, especially people that are marginalized and are sex workers for one reason or another, or sometimes by choice. But like, they look at it, well, they asked for it. That's what they do for money. But, you know, I don't know. Even
you can't rape the willing, right?
Yeah,
just like they say you can't rape a wife.
Yeah, that's what they would say.
So
like,
yeah,
I'm not. You're gonna make me mad today, and I'm already mad.
I understand. I'm like, I haven't even gotten to this shit where you get to feel real sad.
I know, but I get real mad, and you always say I'm gonna flip a table. Like now, I know what I do to you a lot on this show.
Yes,
because
yes,
I'm like angry already.
So. Fuck him.
Yes.
But once more, I think too, I'm going to say this, and it could be right and it could be wrong. I think it's also because his profession was a baker. Something about being a baker makes you like I truly think it made him look more timid or more soft, like a fucking thing of bread. I'm like, I really believe if he would have been a fucking anything else.
But then again, though, to your point, you said that he was an accomplished big game hunter.
Yes.
So like that is more rugged and more in quote unquote manly.
Right.
It's more perceived as manly.
And he was a drill sergeant at one point. And all that. I'm like,
so I get where you're going with that, but family man, whatever. But I don't know. I'm fucking mad. Keep going.
Like, he's just a baker.
He's just
He's just a baker. For years, the scale of horror was hidden, marked only by bodies that were found by accident in the wilderness. The first clue was a Jane Doe found by construction workers in 1980. So he started in
I
1971.
was going to say, that's a long time.
1980 near I'm going to say it wrong. Eklutna Lake Road. For decades, the name on the file for her was Eklutna Annie. She became the first face of all the lost women, and Hansen will claim that she was the first. He stabbed her in the back after she tried to escape his car. 2 years later, the remains of Sherry Morrow, 23, were found in a shallow grave near the Nick River. She had told her friend she was meeting a photographer who promised her $300 for nude images on November 17th of 1981. She had received 3 gunshot wounds to the back. Odd part, the gunshot wounds when they found her body didn't go through her clothes. So he had shot her naked and then redressed her and then buried her.
Oh, God.
So when he had her run through the frigid Alaska wilderness,
Right.
she had no clothes on. Then came the body of Joanna Messina. She was 24. She was discovered in a gravel pit. She had gone out to dinner with Hansen on May 19th, 1980, while she was working in Sewards. According to Hansen, before Joanna offered him sex in exchange for cash, everything was going smoothly. Robert refused to pay and refused to release her. So he drove her and her dog to a distant place by the Snow River. He struck her with a .22 caliber revolver before shooting her twice and the dog once. The dog and her belongings were dumped into a woodland and the gun in the Snow River. It was July 8th when her severely decomposed body was found after it was eviscerated by wildlife. Then Paula Goulding, 30. She was lured and abducted by Hansen on April 25th of 1983. He drove her to his aircraft, and once they reached a remote spot, she fought him and attempted to flee, at which point Hansen shot her with a rifle. On September 2nd that same year, her body was discovered near the Nick River, buried in a shallow grave. She had been wounded in the back, but because her clothing was undamaged, again, it seems like she was shot while naked and then clothed before being buried.
I have a question.
Yeah.
He was meeting these women in different ways, but one of them you said he would go to like CD areas,
Yep.
quote unquote. But like no one saw and no one said anything about like seeing the same truck or the same, like it blows my mind to think that.
Yeah.
Like not, but also a lot of them are probably scared to talk because it's technically illegal, I'm assuming, in Alaska.
I'm going to pause this and I'm going to go a little further.
Okay,
in my
I'll
story.
shut up. Sorry, I'll shut up.
Well, no, you don't have to shut up. But there's this part to it that I'm going to talk about Alaska at that time.
Okay.
And why they didn't even realize anyone was leaving. Like that they didn't know they were missing. They thought they left.
Oh, God.
So
Okay.
I'll get to that. But
Okay.
the disappearances kept piling up, a silent epidemic of missing women that law enforcement couldn't or wouldn't connect. The list of the lost just kept going. I'm going to see how long it takes. There's so many victims. These are all victims. Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to go to it. I'm going to jump to this part because I don't want to wait this many pages to explain it. So this was not a random selection of victims. It was a hunt. As prosecutor Frank Rothschild explained, he operated with a cold, predatory logic. Hansen learned he needed to take women who weren't easily believed or cared about by the community or the police the same way. He thought like a hunter, end quote. He was exploiting a specific societal blind spot. He knew that in the chaos of 1970s Anchorage, in a city overflowing with transient workers and runaways, the disappearance of a sex worker or a dancer was easily explained away. He chose his prey based on who was least likely to be searched for, whose cries for help were most likely to be ignored, and for 12 years, it did work. Now, we have to picture Anchorage back then, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the city we know today. The construction of the Trans-Alaska Oil Pipeline had turned it into a chaotic, transient boomtown. Thousands of workers, mostly men, flooded into the area, and with them came a shady economy of sex work, drugs, and runaways. For police, it was nearly impossible to tell if a woman had become a victim or had simply packed up and moved on. It was the perfect environment for a predator to hide in plain sight.
Got it. So partially where society was and at the time, partially because they had a lot of transient people.
Yes. And I can tell you this. If you're going to the seedy part of town where it's sex and drugs, no one's paying attention to a make and model of a car.
Yeah.
No one's going to be like, oh, it was that one guy.
Yeah,
they weren't looking for a serial killer. They weren't
Right.
expecting it. They were like, oh, Becky just probably left. She was only here for a few, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they showed too, is like people like topless bartenders who literally just started a job and then just didn't come into work the next day. Like,
got it.
It wasn't obvious. And that's what I wondered too. But luckily it was explained away in this one.
Yeah.
For once.
Yeah, I watched too much Law and Order where, you know, Olivia Benson and Stabler go out there.
Which started in the 90s.
Right. And they'd go out there and they'd be like, so and so, here's money. You know, or Ice Cube would be like, here's $20.
They didn't even know there was anyone.
They didn't know.
The bodies, if you notice too, he started in 1971, and the bodies I'm talking about being found are in the 80s.
Right. Okay.
So not to mention too, he was disposing of the bodies in super remote locations. Essentially, it was a killing field for him at one spot by the Nick River.
Plane.
And it's cold.
Right. Okay.
So
that makes
the
sense.
Bodies are kind of holding on for a bit if they didn't get completely eaten.
These poor women. I'm so mad. Anyway, sorry to interrupt. I just had to ask that question.
I have 16 victims I'm about to go through.
Okay.
Roughly. Mary Kathleen Thill, she was 22. She disappeared from Seward on July 5th, 1975. She was driven into town by a friend who dropped her off at a local bakery. Between 1:30 and 2 p.m., a different acquaintance saw her by a waterfall near her home on Lowell Point Road. Lowell. She had not been seen or heard from since. Now, Robert acknowledged being in Seward on the day that she vanished, but denied killing her. Supposedly, he'd later admit to killing her and discarding her body in Resurrection Bay, according to a former prisoner. Now, I'm going to just fucking blow a load here. I'm just going to tell you something fast.
Okay.
At some point when all this shit goes down, he ended up, I hate even saying it now, but I remember I wrote all this out and then I was like, you're going to have to fucking just say it. He had a map with X's on him that he marked for where he put their bodies. So he denied this person, and her body was found where an X was.
Got it.
I'm also going to say too, because I'll end up saying it. Fuck it. I'll just let myself say it then. But just keep that in mind on Mary Kathleen Thill.
Okay.
Roxanne Eastland, she was 24. She vanished on June 28th, 1980, and had been residing at the Budget Motel on Spenard Road in Anchorage with her boyfriend for the previous 2 weeks. On that day, she was scheduled to meet an unnamed man downtown on 4th Avenue. She had not been seen or heard from since. Although Hansen admitted to killing her, her body was never discovered. Andrea Fish Altieri, she was also 24. She was last seen boarding a taxi to go to the Boniface Mall on December 2nd, 1981. She intended to meet an unnamed male for a photo shoot and to perform exotic dances. And when authorities searched Hansen's house, several of her possessions, including her fish necklace, were discovered. Hansen claimed that after he met her, he threatened her with a gun and abducted her, blindfolding and handcuffing her. Near the Nick Arm Bridge, they took a car to a service road off Palmer Highway. He unbound her there, abused her sexually, and killed her with a .22 Browning automatic pistol after she retaliated. He then stole her necklace, weighted a duffel bag with gravel, tied it to the dead woman, and threw her over the bridge. Her body was never found.
Oh, God.
The only one which was like, I don't know why, like, I don't know if her nickname was Fish or if they did it because she had a fish necklace, but the fact that she was the only one that I read that he threw in water was weird to me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, if he knew that or not, I don't know. Because no one's bodies were handled that way. But keep in mind, he admits to some of, like, at the end of the day, he gets like arrested for only like 4 of them, but he had killed at least 17, and some people believe like up to 30.
I wouldn't doubt it. Shit.
Sue Luna, she was 23. She voluntarily agreed to a $300 photo shoot offer with a nightclub patron. On May 26, 82, she met Hansen in a diner parking lot in Anchorage. The following day, she was reported missing, so that was a quick turnaround. He had abducted and killed her, then buried her near the Nick River. She was discovered on April 24th of 1984, so 2 years later. According to him, he had her flee into the forest while hunting her like an animal while she was stripped naked. She was killed by a gunshot. D. Frey, she was 22. She went by Sugar. Sugar was last seen sometime in March of 1983, but was not immediately reported missing. She was buried as Jane Doe in the Anchorage Cemetery after her body was discovered on a Nick River sandbar by a pilot trying out new tires and practicing landings on August 20th of 85.
Ugh.
It was not until 1989 that she was identified when an Alaskan state trooper recognized her jewelry in the case file photo. She had been raped and murdered by Robert Hansen.
Oh, God.
Teresa Watson, 22, was last seen in Anchorage on March 25th, 1983. She informed her roommate that she was meeting a man who would give her $300 in exchange for an hour or two of company. At Scenic Lake, Robert abducted her and killed her. He was unable to bury her since the earth in that region was still frozen at the time, so he had abandoned her where she died. Her body was discovered April 26, 1984. Angela, like, he didn't even change the dollar amounts.
That's
you know what I
I'm
mean?
saying.
Like, he
He's
uses
stuck
the
on
same
that.
dollar amounts on everything.
Stuck on that fucking 300.
Angela Federn, who was 24, was last seen on 4th Avenue in Anchorage sometime in February of 83. She was not reported missing until May. She went missing in February.
Oh, she didn't get reported. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The owner of a nightclub had reported that one of his dancers had gone missing. As you have guessed, Robert had kidnapped and murdered her. Her body was found on April 26, 1984, on a small lake near the larger Figure 8 lake. Tammy Penderson, just 20 years old. She was a dancer at a nightclub in Anchorage. The last her family heard from her was during a phone call on August 7th of 82, when she claimed to have been offered money to pose for photographs. I'm like, no, she told her family everything.
Mm-hmm.
Her body was not found until Robert had confessed and pointed out its location on a map. On April 29th, 1984, the body was recovered 1.5 miles from the old Nick Bridge, always in the same area.
Mm-hmm.
Malay Larson, she was 28. She was reported missing on July 10th of 81. On April 24th, 1984, so just a few days before they found Tammy's, her body was discovered in a parking lot close to the Nick Arm Bridge. Then we have Robin Pelkey, who was only 19.
God.
The partial skeletal remains were found on April 25th of 1984. Obviously, you can tell this is around the time frame that he was arrested. In Palmer, Alaska, close to Horseshoe Lake. It was determined that she had been stabbed and shot. It's unknown if this victim was involved in sex work. It literally took until October 2021.
Wait, what?
For forensic genealogy to determine her identity, having been known as Horseshoe Harriet before she was identified. She was residing in Anchorage when she vanished on July 19th of 1983. 1983 to 2021. That's when her body actually got her name.
That's
all right. Now, this is one of the things that I wanted to highlight here is that he only admitted to killing sex workers. So anyone that wasn't a sex worker, he denied, even if there was an X on his murder map.
Wonder why.
Because he felt that sex workers were less than and that it didn't matter if he killed them.
Obviously, he didn't have... Well, he sounds like he has a really strong moral compass.
Right.
No, but like... I mean, he treated them literally like animals.
Yes.
So
and he just felt like it
up.
didn't matter. Like he could just go pick them up like they were
Stupid.
clay pigeons. Throw them in the air and you can shoot at them.
Motherfucker. Was he married this whole time?
This whole time with kids. Yep. And he did all of this at his house. He waited till his wife took the kids, usually to go visit grandparents. That's the other part. Like, you have to remember we're in Alaska. So it's not like me just taking random people in. And honestly, let's be honest. If you really wanted to, I could pull my car into my garage, close my garage, pull somebody out, put them in a room.
Right.
It's a possibility even now. But he had done it in his basement where he had a chain that he would chain their neck.
Oh my God.
And that's where he would rape them and then take them because he was remote His house was remote enough. Then he would just take them into the car. Then he would go to that fucking airport. And then he would throw them in his vehicle. He'd go at times where no one was there and fly him.
That is so messed up. Okay.
Wonderboy Media is not only the proud producer of this glorious magic employing your ear holes right now, but they're also a big deal.
Get in touch with them today to make all of your dreams a freaking reality.
From using their bangin' ass podcast studio,
where we are right now,
to creating amazing videos and editing our content like the mystical mavericks they are.
Your podcast can go further when you have a Wonder Boy.
Hit up Drew today at WBOYmedia.com.
Or text him day or night at 270.
Just kidding.
Does your face look like a mugshot lately?
Then it is officially time for you to visit Hetef Aesthetics in Owensboro, Kentucky or Nashville, Tennessee.
That's right. Go see our girl Amber Teasley and her team because they'll have your face and your skin look like a damn filter.
And their staff is absolutely amazing. It's like a mini Botox party, which personally is my favorite. You leave looking fresher and you don't have a hangover.
Another good thing is that if you go in there and you tell them that A Couple of Sassholes sent you, you get 15% off of everything.
That's unbelievable. So if you have been considering getting that glow up and making that ex jealous, it's time. Celia Beth Van Zanten, she was only 18.
They're all so young.
Yeah. Well, it was between 17 and 41 were the ages.
Yeah.
He had left her house on she had left her house on Nick Avenue in Anchorage in the late evening of December 22nd, 1971. She had walked a few blocks toward a nearby Bilo supermarket and never made it there. Her disappearance was reported 2 days later. On Christmas, Van Zanten's body was discovered at Chugach State Park. Her chest had been sliced with a knife, and she had been bound and subjected to sexual assault. She had been dumped still alive into a deep ravine before dying from exposure. According to forensic evidence, she had attempted to climb back up the slope, but was unable to because she was bound. That was the worst. I don't even know how long it took her to die.
That is so terrible and
Horrible.
That poor girl.
She was probably fighting in that ravine on Christmas Day.
I know.
He was accused of killing her because of an X on his murder map that matched the location of her body, but he denied responsibility because she was not a sex worker.
She wasn't a sex worker. I'm getting this. Bring me that puppy back.
I know.
I need to hold the puppy
support
again.
Puppy.
Yeah.
I should have known, but I had to tell this story.
Oh, yeah.
Then there was a Megan Siobhan Emmerich. She was only 17. She vanished on July 7th, 1973 in Seward. She was last spotted leaving a dorm laundry room while attending the Seward Skills Center, which was a boarding school. Definitely not a sex worker.
Right.
She had not been seen or heard from since, and Megan had left behind all of her personal items, including her ID. Before contacting the police, her roommate conducted a 3-day search for her. Robert denied killing Emmerich to authorities, but he did admit he was in Seward on the day she had vanished. Due to an X on his murder map in the Seward region, he is thought to be responsible. Apparently, he admitted to a former inmate that he transported Megan to a cabin in the Seward region that was only reachable by boat, where he had killed and buried her. Yeah. Lisa Futrell, age 41, met Robert at a nightclub where she worked and was subsequently kidnapped on September 6, 1980. When she failed to return home following her September 7th shift, her 2 younger housemates reported her missing. Her body was discovered May 9th, 1984, buried next to a gravel pit south of the former Nick Arm Bridge. Then this is where I explained to you what the fuck was happening in Alaska and how he got away with it.
Yeah, for far too fucking long.
Do you remember that murder? I think he was in New York, the gay guy who was killing other gay guys. And he was able to get away with it because he was picking immigrants.
I vaguely
remember
that.
And literally was caught in the act killing someone when somebody the cops finally found him and came in on the door. Very Criminal Mind shit.
Yeah.
This makes me think of that because he got away with it for a really long time at a time where you wouldn't have expected him to. This is a whole different kit and caboodle. But once more, these bodies, yes, there's a ton of them that was in 1984 after he had been arrested. all those bodies before, though. They had been found in 81, you know, in that time frame.
And his first assault got the rape charge denied, and he was in, what'd you say, 6 months? He got charged for one of them.
Yeah, they dropped it. They dropped
and
the
they
rape.
put him.
They dropped the rape charge
rape
because that was
It's so fucked up.
unreal. Now, once more, amid all this chaos, right? So, like, Anchorage is wild. Seward is not really, but whatever. We're gonna act like it. All this shit's happening. Boomtown, oil, yada yadas. He is still coming off as this fucking stable family man. Fucking still. For friendly local baker.
God.
So as I said, over the years, a few women who survived his attacks did go to the police and they accused him of rape. But each time, his image as an upstanding family man and respected business owner was his shield. He was questioned, but he always managed to evade charges.
I can't even say anything about that because I'm so mad about it that it's unreal. Because the fact, for one, it's traumatizing to go through that. Two, they have to have the bravery to go to the police, especially if any of these women were sex workers. Because, like I said, I'm assuming that's an illegal act in that state, so they could possibly get arrested for that. So they're taking a risk just to try to do that to make sure it doesn't happen to somebody else, and then they're not taken seriously. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going to say this real quick too. They couldn't prove that they were sex workers.
True. But
right?
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
They couldn't prove it.
True.
So if you just said, yeah, I want to be a model and he asked me to get
that's true.
Like they could have lied on how it happened.
Right.
But no fucking matter what.
They weren't taken seriously at all.
Him, his name, his face, his likeness is what they said.
It's infuriating.
And it was multiple women. And even when all this shit went down, this is almost why I kind of wanted you to see Frozen Ground because the cops are like, no. There's a scene in the movie. This is a movie, I get it. But they really, really tried to replicate. Like one of the victims I know is the victim in the show. And it just sucks. Because I saw the girl. I saw it, right? Like movies, you see it. And in one of the scenes, the cops go to that bakery. And so they're literally in his bakery in the morning getting their coffee, hanging out. So they did not believe. They were like, it's not him. Like, then, I'm so sorry. Back then too, I think that they had this fucking concept that like you couldn't be bad and outwardly be good.
Yeah, that's probably true. It makes me mad because it's one thing if like one person comes in and they investigate it and they can't find any hard evidence. I get that. But it's another thing if multiple people are saying the sky is blue, the sky is fucking blue.
Right.
And they're all different people. A lot of them are probably not even associated with the other one. So it's not like it's a bunch of women who got mad because he made bad cupcakes or some fucking bullshit.
It's not a Me Too movement
I
that they want to say.
am mad and sad.
You should be, sister.
I'm riled up.
You should be. So the system, the justice system, their biggest catastrophic failure happened again. So while this killing spree was underway, he was convicted. This is what I was telling you to hold on to, was how long he got for the rape.
Don't. I mean, you're going to tell me.
He was convicted of larceny for stealing a chainsaw and given a 5-year sentence. A sentence would have kept him off the streets. But he was released early, and in the time that he should have been in the cell, he murdered Sherry Morrow, Joanna Messina, and Paula Goulding. 3 lives that lost because of a system that let him walk free. But he got 5 years for stealing a chainsaw. Number one, I'm going to assume this was like a $5,000 chainsaw.
Yeah.
Larceny, like it has to be. This is Alaska. This has to be like a fucking, not a chainsaw
like
from
a commercial
Home Depot.
use, yeah, not residential. Yeah.
So once more, if he's this outstanding family man,
family dads don't steal,
accused of rape,
and
attacking women, burning something down, and stealing, and yet we're still calling him an upstanding family man.
Oh my God.
Motherfucker can do no wrong, apparently. For 12 years, every systematic check failed. The entire sprawling, horrifying case would finally break, not because of a brilliant investigation, we know that, but because of the sheer will of a teenager who wanted to survive. In June of 1983, Robert Hansen's meticulous system fucking shattered. His mistake was abducting 17-year-old Cindy Paulson, who was essentially one of the main characters in the movie, The Frozen Ground. That's the one that was played by Vanessa Hudgens. And she just fucking refused to die. Now, as for whether or not, I'm going to say this part. I don't know if Cindy Paulson in the movie, she is also a sex worker, a young teenage girl who's just had enough of life and was just trying to survive and was doing those things, kind of enjoying the little bit of, a little drugging. And
yeah,
that's what she was doing to make her ends meet. And whatever, it is what it is. The attack began like so many others. He abducted her, took her to his home, and chained her in his basement. But as he prepared to take her to his plane at Merrill Field, she saw her one and only chance. While he was busy loading cargo in his vehicle, distracted for just a fucking millisecond, Cindy, still handcuffed, made a desperate run for it. In a moment of incredible presence of mind, she deliberately left her sneakers behind in his car, creating a piece of physical evidence that would tie him to her.
Ooh.
Which also means she sprinted barefoot and in handcuffs towards a busy street.
Oh, God.
A local driver saw her, rescued her, and took her straight to the police. She told them everything, providing a chillingly accurate description of Robert, his home, his plane, and what he had done. But even then, she faced skepticism. Robert was brought in for questioning, but he coolly denied everything and provided an alibi in which his friends vouched for. He was his respectable facade held up again, and he was released.
Shut up.
Yes.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
What?
He walked
Next
away
time
a
you
free
do
man.
something like this, I need you to tell me to take blood pressure medicine or something. I can hear my heartbeat and feel it in my teeth. I am so mad right now.
Well, he obviously gets caught.
Yeah, but not soon enough.
Well, that's every single murder.
I know, that's true. None of the murders are good, but this one is really making me angry.
He walked away a free man, but the big thing that changed here was that for the first fucking time, fuck you. For the first fucking time, a survivor had given the police his name. And so essentially Cindy's testimony had finally put the butcher baker squarely and irrevocably on law enforcement's radar. It took this.
It took that.
And they still let him go for them to even consider. Now his name's on the radar. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
That is.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Like,
how is he not on the radar the whole time?
I don't have any answers because I don't understand anything that has been. How and why in this story, I cannot tell you any of it.
All right, I'm going to ask a question to Jess. Jess.
Wake up. No.
If at some point someone came to you and was like, Brooklyn attacked me and she beat me and shoved me in her trunk, would you believe it? Could you actually sit in a belief, even though you know me so well, to say that, yeah, I guess I could believe that because someone told you it, in full tears, breaking down? Like, that's the question, right? Like, these people knew him and they were like, no. So could you believe it? Or would,
if it was one person, like, I know, like the first time whatever, they need to do their due diligence, but like this, I'm just curious, like if it was multiple.
I don't know if the other women, I have to say, didn't know his name. So it was a description and that's why he was brought in, right? So he didn't rape them and was like, my name's Robert Hansen. Like, he did not give a name, right? So they explained who he was. He looked like the guy and they just assumed that it wasn't him. But like, could you? And like, that's where I come into, if I was a cop, keep in mind, we're talking a cop, right? You're a cop when someone's saying this. Like, you could essentially stop and be like, okay. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, if somebody comes in with that conviction, even if
She said there were a lot of factors.
Yeah.
And she goes, if somebody came to me with pure conviction, then yes, I would have to fully consider that.
And that's the oath that officers take.
Right.
Like when they get sworn in.
Like they had to have been like, it
serve
has
and
to be a
protect.
transient guy. It has to be someone else. It's not him. It's not Robert. He's our fucking baker.
But even when they know
He's done some weird shit.
right.
But it's fucking Robert.
I know.
It can't be him.
Yeah, no, but like when I'm just mad. I'm fucking
Like
mad.
Bundy, any of them, right? Like it can't be him. It just can't be.
Yeah, but the fact that they like, okay, so if someone's spouse gets murdered, they always rule them out first, even though they're still in the process of mourning them, right? So even if they 122% know they have an alibi, they still have to rule them out by checking off all the boxes.
Right.
So I don't understand why they didn't check all the boxes.
Well, they interviewed him.
Yeah, but I mean, still though, they like you could have followed up it a little bit harder than that. Like I feel like
But they didn't count rape.
Yeah, I know. I'm so mad.
No, I love it. That's the whole reason we have a fucking podcast to talk about fucking true crime. That's what it comes down to.
I'm so mad.
It's like when you sit in this and you talk about it, you're like, they don't believe it. It's rape. At the time, it's male fucking cops who are
Right.
talking about a sex worker saying she was raped.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't care. They don't care. And they're going to listen to you. And their due diligence was bringing someone that looked like him in.
They're like, hey, we love your eclairs, by the way, Robert. But do you know her? You don't?
Any
Okay.
chance you went
Cool.
to
You wanna-
that seedy street and
Right.
grabbed that woman? And
Right. Can you drop off 6 dozen cupcakes? Thanks. See you later. Motherfuckers.
Right. Motherfuckers. Though it didn't lead to an immediate arrest, it gave investigators the leverage they desperately needed. So her story, combined with the recent discovery of more bodies and a psychological fucking profile of the killer they were hunting. Are you ready?
What?
Just
I
whack
haven't been
this
ready
shit
for
off.
this.
Whack it off.
I like how you got a big
I got a lazy
imaginary
wrist. I
wiener
got a
in that.
lazy wrist. I was like, this ain't even a real. This wouldn't even do anything. This is like a jiggle of the balls.
I was like, what is that? A tickle?
Nothing. Yeah, tickle.
A pickle
Fucking
tickle?
It was a man who was a skilled local hunter with low self-esteem,
Yeah. A sad baker who shoots stuff.
which said it all pointed to one person, the mild-mannered baker, Robert Hansen.
Right.
You're like, fuck yeah, finally. We did it. But that's all. I'm also kind of, I don't know. It's really hard to believe that someone's doing what he was doing. Like, we also have to be like, what?
The same house as his family with a plane, all the things.
I wonder too how many people knew he flew. That's another, like, I pondered that one. Like, who knew that he flew?
Like,
Because I feel like he could have kept that in his holster
yeah.
because of the simple fact that, like, he was murdering women with it.
And this is back when you could just fake IDs and fake forms and shit really easily. It
Yeah.
was before the digital age. So he could walk in and my name is John Smith. Sure, you have cash in your hand. You can put your plane here and use this.
Yeah, and I don't even know how
you
that
know?
worked too, because I mean, you're right. If they would have looked into him at all, they all would have known about the plane, and then it'd take 2 seconds to be like, plane. Oh, this place where all these dead bodies are, you can only get there by
plane.
Whoa.
Yeah.
We are amazing detectives.
That's what I'm mad.
So yeah, I was saying that it's crazy to think that someone's actually doing this, flying them to remote places, hunting them in fields, all while his wife and kids were out of town. This shit is truly insane. In October of 1983, police executed a search warrant on Robert Hansen's home, car,
Finally.
and plane. I guess this motherfucker never thought he'd get caught because they found things. So even in all of this, they found things. Now, in the movie, this is one thing I didn't find the bits and pieces, per se,
Okay.
is how hard it was for them to find these things. In the movie, they act like fucking homeboy comes in there and he's like, I am certain that there are trophies in here because he was a hunter, trophy hunter, trophies.
Right.
Trophies were, there was no way in fucking hell that there weren't trophies in that house.
Right.
And he was basically like, I know you guys are exhausted. I know you've done this like 5 times. We cannot leave and we won't stop until we find it, because the second we leave this house, we lose it.
Yeah.
Like it will never be able to get the evidence again. So I'm just curious how hard it was to find, or if they were like just came in and was like, that floorboard's up a little bit and popped it up.
Or they're in there like at the bookshelf pulling them back to see which one opens the secret panel.
I want that so bad.
Me too.
So he had kept, of course, trophies from his hunts. They discovered jewelry and trinkets belonging to the missing women. They found a collection of guns, including the rifle that was likely the murder weapon. Another thing, too, this motherfucker fucking used a hunting rifle. Like, he literally... a fucking hunting rifle. It's just... blows me away that he fully treated this like a hunt.
Like he was
hunting. Like this was deer. This was game. It was nothing other than hunting.
Well, he thought they were beneath him, so obviously he just didn't
so
care.
insane.
Piece of fucking shit.
The most damning of all, they found an aviation map, and on it he had marked several X's, which investigators soon realized corresponded to the locations where he had buried his victims. He was arrested. He denied everything at first, but faced with the mountain of physical evidence, the map, the jewelry, and the guns, he finally broke. He agreed to a plea deal in exchange for being convicted of only 4 murders. I think I listed 18. I saw 17. I'm not going to not include somebody that was on Wikipedia.
Right.
If it's like, you know what? No one fucking knows the answer anyway.
Yeah, because it could be more.
It
probably is.
It probably is.
And did they just go after the ones that could slam dunk get him on?
So he was being convicted of only 4 murders. He confessed to killing 17 women. So he did confess to 17. And so I don't know about that 18th. I think it was 18. I could have counted it wrong too.
Yeah.
But as part of the deal, he led investigators to the remote grave sites, helping them recover the remains of 12 of his victims. So here's the one thing I have to say. Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. That he also aviation mapped it. Because there's no other way for him to remember that.
No, not at all.
Not in that terrain, and not for how many he killed.
How many years again was his spree?
To like 12 years. I'd say like 71 to 83.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh my God.
He was sentenced to 461 years plus life in prison with no possibility of parole. For a man whose life revolved around the freedom of the Alaskan wilderness, his punishment was a particular kind of hell. Frank Rothschild, the prosecutor, described it as the, quote, supreme punishment, end quote, for a hunter like Hansen, quote, he was put in a cell with no view of anything. Forget the mountains with rancid air and horrific people around him. The man who had turned the vast Alaskan landscape into his personal hunting ground would spend the rest of his life in a box, cut off from the world that he had terrorized. Motherfucker. He did die. Robert Hansen died of natural causes, unfortunately.
Right.
In an Anchorage hospital on August 21st, 2014. He was 75 years old. Upon his death, the retired state trooper who helped bring him to justice, this guy named Glenn Floth, said everything that needed to be said, and his words are where we should leave this story. Quote, on this day, we should only remember his many victims and all of their families, and my heart goes out to all of them. As for Hansen is concerned, the world is better without him.
I agree.
Yeah. This one made me so sad because it was so scary.
Devastated.
It's on top of all the sadness and all the devastation of everything I fucking said, because I've literally just had a big pile of shit sandwich on us today on this story.
Yeah.
The women, it's hard to watch acting when the acting was done so well. And it was utterly terrifying. This man, one of the women that he took, he fucking took a nap. They were chained by the neck to a wall where he raped them, where they had to sit in a basement with deer heads and other taxidermied animals in a family home, which is obvious that it was a family home.
Right.
Chained up and knowing that they were going to die. The way he was with them, whether or not that, like, I just don't believe that John Cusack didn't fucking research the role and deliver on his acting based off of this. I understand I'm fucking referencing a movie, but I don't always get to be like, this was a movie completely based off of this guy.
Right.
He was just cold and just did not give a shit about these women. Obviously, I'm saying that. But to then treat them like that in these moments. And then when he would take them on the plane, they knew they were dying. They knew that this is where they were going to die. He loads up guns into this fucking plane.
God.
And then whenever he lets them out, he literally uncuffs them. And they're begging for their life. They're like, please, like, let me live. Like, you don't have to do. And they're being dropped off in the middle of nowhere in the snow.
Right.
And he just lets them run. And in some cases, he would let them have a little bit of a head start. And then he would be excited. And he would chase them through the woods and the forest and watch them trip and struggle. Cold and terrified and scratching their feet, cutting their bodies.
Right.
And then shoot them like a deer. And then walk slowly up to them and stab them or shoot them in the face or do whatever he did. And then he just got away with it. And when people said this is what's happening, they were like, no, not Robert. Not Robert.
This is awful.
I just feel so horrible for those victims.
Right.
And for the fact that it was so many years, and I don't even know how many families were actually even worried, or if it was just their 17-year-old daughter who was having a hard time or got in with the wrong group and went to this place and wanted to be a little risque and were surviving and had fallen on hard times or whatever the many reasons that you get into that line of work.
Right.
To fall into that.
Mm-hmm.
And this took time. Like time.
Yeah.
He took them to multiple places.
And they just know the whole time that they're not getting out of it.
And you just don't know where the last place is going to be.
Right.
And there's guns everywhere. He's a hunter. There's nothing worse than fucking knowing. Like, you knew. You knew that this wasn't a rape and you were going to get away with it. Like, get out of it.
Yeah.
Have to deal with your own trauma, but at least you were going to survive.
Right.
Like, that wasn't the case.
It's
Like,
so
they knew it was
sad.
just the end.
I literally have nothing. There's nothing I can say because I'm like almost in tears. This is awful.
It was awful.
It was very awful.
And then so many of the books that I told you this one book. I was trying to remember it. I Googled it too. There's a ton of obviously movies and things that were inspired by this because it's so fucking insane.
Right.
And I wish I could remember this book. If you know the book I'm talking about, please put it in put it in the comments.
Yeah.
But it was literally the same thing. It was a hunter in Indiana who was about to shoot a deer, and this hiker was walking in the wrong area. You're not allowed to in certain areas during hunting season because obviously you could get shot or you could scare off deer. And he was so mad that he had scared off his deer because it was like food for his family that he had shot the hiker.
Whoa.
Yeah. And then he consistently continued to do that and found a high from it.
Ugh.
So Criminal Minds did an episode on it. There's a million.
I bet there's a bunch.
Yeah. If you stream, The Frozen Ground is on Amazon for the low price of renting for $3.99.
Right. Well,
That's my
apparently
story
it's
today.
very visually graphic as well.
There's
Is
it just sucks. But no, they only show for the fact that he had killed 17 people, they show 2. Only 2. And one of them is based off of one of the girls that we talked about.
The one that got away.
That one for sure, but the one that he shows killing is a different one of the victims here.
God.
I don't remember the story. It was she had her dog. They actually combined 2 is what it looks like.
Got it.
And they didn't even show what happened to her dog, but she was gonna go take a photo and had jumped into his car. She was one of the ones that was a photo, and she had brought her dog. It was terrible. And he literally and it was just great acting, but it was just utterly terrible and so sad.
Yeah.
Well, everyone,
I need that puppy back.
I know.
I'm
I'm gonna go get a drink. Fuck. I know. Yeah. All I can say is yeah. It fucked me up.
Well, at least you got to say their names, like the ones that they know for sure that he did. At least you got to.
I think I
say
said
their names.
I think I threw in a spare. I don't know if one of them is
Maybe it wasn't
feel like it was
proven.
18.
But yeah,
I
I
don't know.
mean, either way.
Oh wait, 18. No wonder it was 18 because the 18th didn't die. That was our sweet angel
18
who
victims,
lived.
17 murder victims.
Yep.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Well, everyone, like, rate, review, subscribe.
Yeah, do all the things.
Hug your loved ones.
Please.
Be grateful that you're not as fucked up as some of the people we talk about on this podcast.
Yes. Also
like
that.
Robert fucking Hansen.
Fuck him.
Fuck him.
I'm fired up.
I know.
I'm fired up.
Y'all, don't forget, don't get mad.
Get sassy.
We love
you. Bye.
I know, such a bum.
This episode was sponsored, edited, and produced by Wonderboy Media. Get the deets at WBOYmedia.com to see how you can make your podcast dreams a reality.
Help us out and be sure to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to our audio project. Don't forget, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at, of course, A Couple of Sassholes.
Want more sass? Become a member of our Patreon for bonus content, merch, and more. Plus, we're on Cameo now, so there's even more ways to get the sass you need just how you like it. As always, don't get mad.
Get sassy.
Theodore, can I pet that dog?